Most of us can agree that love stories that are set to fail isn't something we would wish upon ourselves, yet they still capture our hearts every single time. We know that the story isn't going to end well, and when that time comes, it still hits just as hard, as if we didn't know what was coming. There's a multitude of shows and manga, or whatever medium you choose to consume, that have this doomed love, but today, I picked two of my favorite examples of doomed romance. From the first few minutes of this movie, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas tells us that Sakura doesn't have long left to live and that she will die. In fact, not a moment goes by without being mentioned that she will die. It's this aspect of dread in the back of your mind that makes Sakura's character all the more beautiful. She is more aware than anyone else about her pending death, yet still chooses to try to live a life with no regrets so that she can be able to tell Haruki that she died happily because of their relationship. Because Haruki was the only person in the entire world that could give her the normal life that she wanted before she died. But then we got comfortable with the idea of her death. Subconsciously, we prepared ourselves to be heartbroken while we witnessed her death due to her sickness. But when she got off screen and died to sheer chance, it made her death hit even harder. Instead of a warm, wholesome death the story seemed to have promised us, we got nothing. We didn't even get to see her at funeral. All these things reflect how Haruki felt about the situation. Throughout the movie, they constructed Haruki to be a sort of perfect vessel for the viewer. It made it so Haruki was extremely relatable, and that made the emotions of the story resonate that much more. We feel empty just like Haruki did, because it felt as if he had been robbed from at least seeing her on her deathbed. Everything had happened so quickly, it just seemed just yesterday when he found her notebook, and now she's dead. This led to his traits of neglect and self-isolation to flare up again as a way to try to cope. But when he went to her house and read her notebook, everything came out as he was finally able to accept and process everything that had happened. This is one of my favorite, if not the favorite romance anime I've watched, for the reason that is, knows that it'll end in tragedy, yet is still able to put out a message of beauty of life. Now, my next favorite is, I know I already have a full 20-minute video on Akunohana alone, but this aspect of the manga I didn't really feel I covered as much as I wanted to, so we're doing it here. Unlike I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, the narrative doesn't establish that Nakamura and Kasuga will even be in a romantic relationship that will fail, at least early on. But as the relationship develops, we see more and more signs that it will blow up. Not only because their relationship is incredibly toxic, but also because the world they live in won't allow them to be together in the way they want it. The town of Gunma is a very simple and normal town. It's not rich and it's not poor. Life happens slowly for most people who live there. So the type of stuff that Nakamura and Kasuga do will obviously be shunned, and for good reason. That's why leaving then later changing the town is a major theme in the pre-time skip story. Because without Kasuga being a constant source of entertainment for Nakamura, she would just drop him initially, and then Kasuga would truly be alone. This is why their relationship was genuinely insanely toxic. Without Nakamura, Kasuga felt deprived of any meaningful, and I say this in quotations, relationship. It was the only way Kasuga felt connection with another human being. Nakamura was bored out of her mind before meeting Kasuga. He realized that Nakamura wasn't doing the type of things she did after she met Kasuga. The most she did was cuss out her teacher. But later, she meets Kasuga and gets addicted to the fun Kasuga brought her, to the point that she couldn't stand living in a world where she had to go back to being a normal. These are probably parts of the reason she and Kasuga attempted to end it all. This is also probably why Nakamura cuts Kasuga with her nails, showing that living with her is going to be painful and humiliating, but Kasuga still accepts to die and live with her. These two were literally incapable of living without each other, yet at the end of pre-time skip, they were forced to, which makes the story all the more interesting. Love that is doomed is able to bring out the true, real, and raw emotional sides of the character. That makes it beautiful to see, whether it be a wholesome story ripped away from us or a toxic relationship being destroyed. doomed romance gives us a glimpse of hope, of a relationship that would never happen. It gives us an ability to reflect on relationships. For some reason or another, didn't or couldn't happen. And most importantly, it's just really good.